welcome back to the Unbothered podcast, where we enjoy breaking down America's fifth sport, MTV's The Challenge, and we are back for a brand new season, season 37, titled Spies, Lies, and Allies, or as I like to call it, War of the Worlds 3, because that's what it probably should have been called.
Exactly.
But whatever, we have this long ass title this go around, and we're pretty excited. We are going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2 in this, because while I appreciate MTV releasing the season premiere 2 days before my birthday, I was also a very busy lady. So we're finally able to kind of sit down and chat about it now, but we have lots to talk about. There's a lot of explosiveness so far, trying to get to know all these rookies. There's a lot going on. They're finally in a warmer climate. And yeah, we're going to dive right in. So the first episode was titled The List. And it all stems around a supposed list that a rookie supposedly wrote, listing the different vets and stuff that they don't trust. And it becomes this whole debacle that we will get into. However, if you did not see the preseason episode called Global Activation, they quickly introduced us to all the rookies and all the vets. They have them split into two sides, the American side and the international side. Basically, the Americans showed up first and they got to pick their beds first, but then they got whisked away by TJ before the international players showed up. They were like, Mr. What's going on? Mr. TJ, as Emmy likes to say. Right. Mr. TJ. And when the international people get there, they're like, wait a minute, there's already stuff on the beds. Where are the Americans? Well, we find out the Americans have all been chained to cinder blocks, and the international players have to be the first out of the gate and pick their partner. And that's where we get into with the very first official episode of this new season. The Americans are chained up to their cinder blocks, and the international people have to decide, who do I want to pick as my partner? They were given case files previously, so they could kind of get an idea of who's who, because most of them are rookies. They're rookies who maybe have not really had access to the show before, so they're learning. They're learning who they may want as a partner. And because most of the Americans didn't realize, there was a code written on their cinder blocks in different colors, letters, and numbers.
Could they not see it?
It was bold as day. Like
that, exactly. I was even like, okay, well, there's a code.
Yeah. And even Anissa, oh, excuse me, this lighting is really, it's like really all over the place. Even Anissa was like, hello guys, I've been doing this show X amount of seasons. Like right. At this point, you have to take in your environment when it comes to the challenge. This was so disappointing for Nelson. I'm like, Nelson, you've done this season, this show, how many right. seasons? And you didn't realize, wow, maybe all these
okay. Nelson's not that smart. Let's be real.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like come on, the rookies figured it out before you
should automatically be looking for something.
Yeah. It's like back in, I think it was Final Reckoning, when one partner was like locked in that cage and they had to pay attention to what was written in the cage with them. Right. And that's what Amanda figured out, because once the partner got him out, they had to then solve a puzzle using what was inside written in that cage. It's right. Like the same concept, guys, just a cinder block. Hello. But anyway, doesn't happen. So most of the vet Americans, like I said, don't even realize the code was on there. Anissa does, because if anything else, Anissa is very intelligent. She's really good with the puzzle solving and okay. critical thinking skills when it comes to these games and the show in general. So no surprise, her and her new partner, Logan, who I believe is isn't he from Survivor Spain?
I think so.
I think so. Who chooses her, and he knows who he's choosing and he's fine with it. And he actually appears to be a pretty supportive partner, which is a change for Anissa and not a bad thing, because
and it worked out for him.
It did, because they ended up coming in first place basically, and they were followed closely by the rookie team of Michaela, who is from Survivor. She's from Jay's season, and her partner is also another rookie named Renan, but he is from Love Island Double Dutch, which was like a Love Island show in the Netherlands, combined Netherlands and Belgium, whatever. they come in second place, very closely behind Anissa Logan, and third place was Tori and Kells, who is also a rookie from Too Hot to Handle,
Right.
and he is a beast.
Love him.
Holy crap, he is huge. I hope he comes back. But we're going to get into why we like him so much now. And surprisingly, Ashley and Huey are last.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
And they came out and said that between all the first teams, they were all relatively close coming in, but the last two teams were like way behind.
Yeah. And that was really surprising because Ashley's usually really good with puzzle-based stuff. And you would think that she would have noticed the numbers and the letters written on her cinder block and been like, hey, hello. Like, she's typically much smarter than that. But it happens. Thankfully for them, it is not a purge.
Right.
Thankfully, TJ makes them think it is for like a brief moment, but it isn't. I have, however, heard whisperings that apparently it was supposed to have been a purge,
right?
But they decided not to because of the people who came in last.
Right.
Whether or not that's true, who knows? We've heard crazier things supposedly be changed last minute. Anything's possible in the world of editing. But I'm glad it's not a purge. I hate when they purge people right off the bat.
Right off. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Like, do you know how irritated I would be if you made me quarantine for 2 weeks and I'm literally there for less than 24 hours before I go home and I don't even have a chance to redeem myself? Like, if there was a redemption house, I'm okay with a purge. But I don't like purges right off the bat. I want to get to know some of these people and decide whether or not I want to be a fan or
you're gonna root for them. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes the first people who go home end up becoming like great stars later on, but you at least give them a little bit of time to make a name for themselves before like an elimination. So I'm really glad they ended up not doing the purge. And the daily winners this season are called the Agency. So goddamn stupid. But whatever. It basically makes them safe from elimination, and they essentially will choose a team to go against whomever the house vote ends up being. There are no skulls this season. Thank God.
Thank goodness. Right.
Good concept. Execution just was kind of poor. They need to set it to the side, come back at a later time. My first impressions so far to this point. These are my impressions of some of these people so far. Emmy is a lot, but we'll see how she gets as the season airs. I know she's 22. Yeah, she's just a lot so far. The Mr. TJ thing is cute, but everything else is just, she's a lot. Even at this point, I'm like, she's a lot. I love Michaela. I liked her on her season of Survivor. I'm still really bummed that we didn't get an opportunity this season anyway for like a Michaela and Jay alliance. I think that whole dynamic could have been different. Maybe we'll get it another season, but I love Michaela. Berna was very smart picking CT.
Very smart.
It's like she sought him out and he was like kind of hiding behind the cinder blocks, and she was like, oh no you're mine. And CT's like, I don't know these people, I don't want to get screwed. Tommy is definitely the boring version of Wes. He is the Wish version of Wes.
Yeah,
it's like if I order Wes on Amazon
either. So
yeah, he just Tasha has amazing style. Like, even though she hasn't got a lot of camera time yet,
I was to say we haven't seen too much of her.
Whatever we do get clips, she looks freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I even said at one point she has these like pearl looking hoops on. I'm like, okay, I need those earrings.
Yeah, we know you love your hoops too.
Yes.
Emmanuel seems very strong and smart, but he definitely gives me Vlad the Impaler vibes. I mean, he looks like him.
I find him creepy. There's something about him that creeps me out. I don't know what it is.
Definitely but I think he's very smart. I mean, obviously he picked Casey as his partner. He knew he wanted Casey. And I almost wonder if Amber B had been in the original set of Americans, if he would have wanted Amber B instead, because Amber B won last season, but instead went with Casey. But either way, he's very smart in who he picked, unlike Gabo, who picked Nani because she's hot.
I don't care for him. We'll see. Maybe he gets better. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Logan's a very supportive partner. I do wonder how long Huey will be able to handle Ashley. And Bettina seems crazy in a quirky kind of way. and that laugh.
Kind of like her, but then she laughs and my whole like body just tenses up. I'm just like,
it's like a
can't
choking
take it.
dolphin.
And
It's a
I
choking
love a
dolphin.
good laugh. Like I love like Seth Rogen. I love his laugh. And like there's this guy Christian Hull. I love
Oh
his
yeah.
laugh. You know who he is. But hers drives me up the wall.
I'm like, it's kind of funny at first, but then like after a while, you're just like, grr, take a breath. And I'm like, I thought my laugh was annoying when I'm like really laughing. I'm like, but at least I don't sound like a choking dolphin. And then I think Priscilla is gorgeous. They haven't shown her too much. She's the other, she's another rookie from the UK. I mean, her confessionals, she's just beautiful. Just fucking gorgeous. Anyway, so after the daily, the rookies just are kind of like chit-chatting as much as they can and essentially trying to get an idea on the veteran alliances, like who could be allied up with who. Do we think they're trying to do too much too soon? I vote yes.
Well, there's only me, so I guess I'll answer that. Yes, but you know, you also don't want to come in and play a scared game. I like that they're, you know, at least going for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, granted, I have to take into consideration if I like really try to think about it, they were all in quarantine for 10 days because I don't think this is when they went back into quarantine yet. So when they're already in quarantine, I'm sure all of them, if not most of them, probably all of them though, figured out who was going to be on the cast. So I'm sure way ahead of time, if any of the rookies were smart, they did their homework on the vets. Like Corey Lay, I'm sure knew right away because he's a fan of the show. It's not that hard to decide, okay, who do we think is probably an alliance? CT doesn't really ally with anybody. He kind of just relies on his record and his presence to keep him going. And if he's kind of got a wheel and deal, he'll do it. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard at all to figure out. And I would not be talking about it with anybody because you don't know what vet has been in what rookie's DMs during quarantine, trying to get them on their side. You have no idea. And I'm not about to tell you my whole game plan on day 3. And I still don't even know your whole name.
Exactly.
Like the rookies need to smarten up, but that's just me. And the partners are starting to kind of get to know each other. Gabo admits that he is all popcorn muscles, which is hilarious, but I'm glad you speak your truth.
At least he admitted it.
At least you embrace who you are. I really think he was just hoping, I feel like just wanted to do the show because he finally gets to be on American television. And he talks about like that's always been his dream. Yeah, like he's like, I've always wanted to be on American television. And I'm just like, okay, but maybe you should have picked like Too Hot to Handle. Yeah. Or like more violent. X on the Beach.
You don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah, not a challenge, but I mean, we'll see what he can do. It's too soon to tell at this point. He didn't come in last place, so.
True.
And he, like I said, he admitted to choosing Nani because he thinks she's hot. And then I'm not really sure what Logan was saying when he was referring to Anissa, something like a little birdie, feed me. I don't, in his confessional when they were like chatting like right after they won, and I'm just like, is he comparing her to like his mommy bird and he's the baby bird? And I don't know. Lost in translation. I'm just gonna attribute that to just being lost in translation. Just didn't work in English.
The language barrier issue.
We're gonna go with the language barrier. And the vets want to form an alliance because they know they're outnumbered right away. Right. And and it's true, they are outnumbered, I think, by 3 or 4 rookies. And the vets have always had a hard time in the past forming an alliance because very few of them trust each other, which I mean, hello. Exactly. And you play this game enough, you're not gonna even trust yourself half the time. So it's kind of a question of, okay, well, how well can we do this? And honestly, I think with this group of vets, they can do it because most of them are not cutthroat enough or smart enough to do this alliance and then wheel and deal behind the back and not get caught.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple of them could probably do that, but not a lot. So
they're not West. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, they're not a West, they're not a Bananas, they're not Cam, you know, or even a Polly, like as much as people want to say, I mean, look at the War of the Worlds 2 alliance, regardless of who won, half the alliance ended up winning. They just happened to be on the other team. So certain people that are really good at that.
The fact that they are less in numbers, that has to be a wake-up call. You know?
Oh yeah.
Where they kind of have to work together to, you know, to come out on
Exactly.
top.
I completely agree. So we'll see how it works out and how long they'll be able to maintain that alliance before somebody makes the first
apparently
move.
Not very long. So.
Ooh, yes.
That's what it said for the next episode.
Yeah, but we'll see if it actually happens.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So they're already targeting the Survivor players because there are 8 people who've been on Survivor. But the problem is it's not like they were all on the same season of Survivor,
right?
Or even in the same country of Survivor. Like you have 3 US Survivor people, you have 2 Romania Survivor people. Berna was from Survivor Turkey. And then I think like Logan,
Spain or something you said.
Yeah, it was like Survivor Spain. So it's like that's like saying that Tasha and Esther are automatically going to be part of the BB Alliance because they were in Big Brother, and Huey, but they were on different countries of Big Brother. So sometimes just the show title isn't enough. So the vets, and I mean, it makes sense. They're going to want to go after Survivor because Survivor is all rookies, because any vet Survivor players are not on this season. And it's easier than going after the Big Brother Alliance because unfortunately, at this point, there's about 3 or 4 Big Brother players that are technically vets. So
right.
I'm gonna have to try to target the Survivor players first. And that's kind of what they want to try to do. Lost my place for a minute. Oh, okay. So the first night, it is Michelle and Logan's birthday. So Anissa and all of them decide to throw them a birthday party because that's how they do it in the challenge house. And I don't do them.
That was Devin's dance.
Oh yeah, and Devin busts out in his little cheetah speedo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I liked it.
Did you catch the scene? I didn't catch it till I rewatched it. Devin, when he was like taking off his clothes and he threw a sock and it hit Michelle in the face.
And it hit her in the face. Yeah.
Happy birthday, here's my sock. I love that. And Emmanuel has heart emoji eyes for Michelle.
Yes.
He is feeling her, and she's trying not to get distracted by Vlad the Impaler. I don't know. I don't know what's attractive about him. Maybe it's just his energy. I don't find him physically attractive. That mustache and that Lloyd Christmas haircut.
The teeth weird me out, and the mustache weirds me out.
The Lloyd Christmas haircut from Dumb and Dumber. I hated it when Jordan did. I don't like it on Emmanuel either. It doesn't look good.
No one should have that.
No one. The only time you should have that is when your mom doesn't want to take you to the barbershop, so she does a piss poor job of doing it at home. And you just let her do it. Like, no. Get rid of it. But whatever. Exactly. They don't care what we think, but I don't care. I care. I don't care, but I care. Sure. So here, his sock hits Michelle in the face. Love it. And apparently Ashley and Nelson are a thing.
Apparently.
They hooked up after they both got eliminated in Double Agents. So while they were still in Iceland, they had a whole thing. They live pretty close to each other in Houston. They live in Houston, right? It's Houston or Austin.
Somewhere.
In Texas.
Well, they're not where Cam and Leroy are.
Cam and Leroy are Houston. So then maybe Ashley and Nelson are Austin.
Austin, yeah.
And I don't know if they kind of hooked up, in between the show on top of it, but they're kind of doing a thing now. Nani and Casey are giving each other heart emoji eyes. We all know how that played out.
Oh, yeah.
We saw it all on social media.
I think that Ashley Nelson, I don't know, that's so weird to me.
It is.
And then for her to say that she caught feelings.
Yeah, later on, I'm like,
I don't know. It's weird. Just weird.
With Nelson?
I know, right?
I mean, Nelson's adorable, but his inability to remember how to pronounce certain words like audacity is now audacity. So that is my favorite meme that I've ever made, is the audacity.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you would
It's
be
just a
someone I'd
weird
have fun
coupling.
with.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an
Odd.
interesting one. Amanda and Fussy.
They're both just gross people.
I fast forwarded because I'm just like,
Did you?
especially the second go around, I was like, I don't want to watch this. I
Ugh,
don't. I'm
yeah.
not, like, I already don't like Amanda that much. I'm not a fan. And then, like, girl, then you chose Fessy. You were not
Yeah.
doing yourself any favors in my book. And I can't stand Fessy's. I fast forwarded through his and Gabby's scenes last season. I'm fast forwarding through his and Amanda's scenes this season, and whomever else he may end up hooking up with.
Well, hopefully there won't be too many of those.
We already had one in the second episode.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But so Nelson and Fussy start arguing about what happened last season because, you know, I guess they didn't figure it out on the reunion or in between or whatever. I mean, I don't blame Nelson. Like, I'm still not going to trust you, dude. But at this point, I would just be like, sit and rotate. I'm over you. We're not friends. We're not cool like that. We're only in an alliance because the whole veteran squad's in an alliance. I don't trust you. Leave me alone. Okay, bye.
Yeah, arguing's not going to fix anything. They clearly.
It's not. Like,
it's
there's no
fun.
point in putting that energy into it anymore. You've
Right.
already done it.
Right.
But anyway, that's the difference between us and them. And then Emmy runs over to Anissa and Tori, claiming that Michaela has this list where she's put on there people that you can't trust, and Tori is at the top. And she saw Michaela chatting about it with Michelle and Tommy, but that they stopped talking when she came in the room.
Right.
You can't trust them. You can't trust them. This was a huge target on Michaela's back because it does not help them. Michaela is already a strong contender. She came in second place. Most of these individuals who know anything about Survivor, they know who Michaela is. She looks like a strong competitor. She's clearly not stupid. So she's already dangerous. And then this list thing, like many of the vets ended up saying, it gave them an excuse to end up voting her
ammunition
in.
Right.
Yeah, it puts ammunition in their proverbial guns, as they say. It puts a major target on her back. She says the list is not what they think it is. Anissa goes rooting through her shit, which, look, I don't like when people root through other people's stuff. I get that they do it on the show. They've been doing it for seasons. Doesn't mean I've ever liked it. But what's annoying is that you're going to go through all of her things looking for this list. And then when she actually comes to bring it to you, since you're clearly so bothered about a list that apparently exists, then you're going to act like, well, what are you showing me for? I don't care.
Right. Right.
But you just went through all her things. Yes, you do. If you didn't care, you'd be like, look in an open bag and be like, I don't see it. I don't care enough. But you went rooting through her stuff. You had somebody as a lookout to make sure she didn't catch you. And then you're going to have a whole other attitude when she's like, here, you want to see it? Oh, girl, now you just look guilty. Okay.
I feel like, regardless of what the list was, I feel like Michaela, though, should have known better.
Yeah. So
she's smarter than that.
She is. Did you by chance watch the Aftermath episode?
I did.
Okay. So for those who didn't, they talk about this, and certain pieces of information shed light on how the whole thing worked. So this list that was ever written down, Michaela said Emmy was afraid she was going to be nominated for the first elimination, which we do find out they were originally talking about Emmy. And Emmy, as we see, has a lot emotionally. She gets very panicky, and English is not her first language. Michaela was trying to calm her down and to help her. So she wrote the things they were talking about down as far as like, well, this is whose partner.
Well, she wrote the team. She wrote the teams.
Yeah, she wrote the teams down
teams,
to be like, let's look and see if we can maybe get an idea of who may be voting how, so we can try to help you. Well, that happened, and then she was crying about it to Amanda, and Amanda came out and essentially said,
that's the person right there, Amanda.
That well, what do you know on the other rookies so we can get the heat off of you onto them? And then Emmy brings up this list, which is, in my opinion, it's bullshit, because the whole reason anything was written down was for your benefit.
Exactly.
But it's how the game is played. She took an opportunity. So she basically took a small kernel of truth, spun it into this whole ass lie. Amanda, still, I don't even think on Aftermath realized how much of a hand she had in that whole situation. And whatever, it's what Amanda does anyway. And it helped Emmy make a game plan to get the heat off her. And it worked.
It worked, right?
It worked. It worked. The rookies are starting to crack. Michaela's got the target. She's starting to panic. Emmy goes bananas on her in deliberation, which that to me, if that was me that she was screaming out like that, I would have looked at her and been like, you know, for someone who's so innocent, you have an awfully strong reaction about something you know nothing about. Right. And turned the heat back on her. But I think Michaela was just like, so like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening in this moment, and was just flustered. She was like, I don't know how to get out of this. I got 36 people staring at me. And this girl's like telling me about I'm lying and God knows it. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm lying about. But apparently God knows. It turned into that.
I thought it was funny when they were like, does anyone have anything to say? And Emmy's like, they do.
Yeah, she goes crazy. So essentially Michaela and Runnin ended up getting voted in. And not Emmy like it was originally supposed to have been, from what we found out. So at the elimination, TJ actually announces the twist. And the twist is, unlike previous seasons, the agency, aka the winning team, they can vote in any man and any woman from any team.
Any team.
You do not have to vote in a partnership. So
I actually love that.
I do too, because it keeps you. Great twist. That is a good twist. That's a twist I like, because it keeps you on your toes. You're never safe unless you're winning.
Yeah,
you're never safe. And at the elimination, so when he announces that, Anissa and Logan end up choosing Michelle, who again is also from Survivor. She's in fact won Survivor before. And Corey L, who was on a show called 12 Dates of Christmas.
Yeah, what is that?
I think it was on HBO Max, I heard.
Is it a movie?
I don't know. Gotta find out.
Look that up, because I really liked him.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Might as well while we're here. 12 Dates of Christmas.
I mean, it sounds like something you would see on like Hallmark.
It does. Oh, it's like an actual like scripted movie.
Oh, so it was a movie. It's not like a series where they do challenges or something.
Yeah, no, it's an actual TV film.
So he's an actor.
Wait a minute. But this one's from like 2011. So how is that possible? Corey Lay, 12 Dates of Christmas.
12 Dates? Oh, maybe it's a dating show.
I don't know. Like, maybe it was. We'll have to look into it more. Because apparently there was a movie from 2011 called 12 Dates of Christmas that has Zach from Saved by the Bell in it. So anyway, but Corey Lay gets voted in, and he is understandably pissed off. He's like, why am I getting voted in? My partner's the one that caused all the problems, and this bitch is safe.
Right.
So unfortunately for Michaela,
he used and harnessed that anger though.
Yeah. So the elimination is called like Push Me or something. And we've kind of seen single variations of this in the past, like when Nelson against Hunter. And I think it was Dirty 30 or I think it was Dirty 30.
I was very confused by this one though.
Yeah, I think the whole point was you just have to like get your person
get them off.
Yeah, get them off. So Michaela and Runnin are tied back to back with Michelle and Corey L. And Michaela put up a really big fight. I think if she would have had any other male partner, she probably would have won. Runnin just kind of gave up after 4 seconds.
Yeah, he just laid there.
And Coriel is a big dude and he's a strong dude, and he dragged them all over the edge despite
He
Michaela's
carried
best effort.
3 human beings.
Yeah, he really did.
himself.
He really
I bet.
did. And that's why I'm saying, like, if Michaela had had any other male partner, I don't think she would have had that problem at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So unfortunately, though,
Brennan, like, he hurt himself or something too, because he was in a sling later.
probably
Yeah.
because he spent 3 seconds trying and then gave up and was like, oh, I'm hurt now. Sorry, guys. But so that happened. So we say goodbye, unfortunately, to Michaela and Renan. And then they announce that Nam is gone. So for anybody who does not really know, at some point in time, I think Big T tested positive for COVID after they were all in the house. And they pulled her from the house, but they continued to let everybody else remain in the house together until several more people started showing symptoms and getting sick. So they forced everybody back into quarantine. 4 or 5 people got sick. Nam was one of them.
Right.
And it just took him longer to recover, so he just couldn't come back. And possibly could also have to do with any schedule or time constraints, because I mean, the show itself already takes probably 8 weeks to film, at least 2 months. And then you have to add in
quarantine,
10 days of quarantine in the beginning. And then they probably have to quarantine afterwards. That's another 10 days. So now you're looking at an extra 3 weeks. And then you have to quarantine again, like 3 days into it. So he couldn't come back. So they bring in an alternate. And it's none other than Ed Eason from Netflix season 1 of The Circle. If you don't remember him, he was the one that came in with his mom.
Yeah.
His mom is not with him this go around, thank God. I think Ed looks way better in the challenge than he did in The Circle.
Oh, I agree.
Like, he has a whole different vibe.
I liked him on The Circle. I liked his personality and everything, but I didn't like him that much. I like him way better on the challenge.
I like him way better now, and it's only been an episode and 10 minutes.
Yeah. He has a good energy. He's real positive.
Does.
He forgot his shorts, so he just came out in the tights. So.
Yeah, somebody called him like a labradoodle. Or like a little Labrador running out with his like hair, like, hey guys. And he does have the very energy, like, I'm here, yeah, let's do this. So he ends up getting teamed up with Emmy because Coriel decides not to go back to Emmy as his partner. Like, bitch, you're the reason why I'm in here to begin with.
Exactly.
He steals Tori for some reason. And Michelle steals Devin. And that
one draft.
Yep. Number one draft pick. Number one draft pick. Which apparently he said that for like the next 3 weeks.
Of course.
And so now that puts Kels and Tracy together. Tracy is from Love Island, Germany. She's very cute little mousy thing.
Not made for the challenge.
This show was not for her.
Not for her.
She should be on X on the Beach.
Yeah.
Or something. Or even F Boy Island. Not the challenge.
Yeah.
I really need them if they want to bring in people to represent Germany. I'm gonna need them to bring in people that can kick some ass. Berna technically is associated as Germany because that's where she lives, but her original show was in Turkey. That's where she's from. Nam is a good one, but unfortunately we didn't get any we couldn't get anything from them this season because of COVID. So to the challenge producers and the casting people, if you ever hear or read this, you are welcome to cast me. Technically, I am German. I was born there. I got citizenship. It's okay. I haven't been there like 25 years, but call me. I'm really good at faking an accent. If that's what it is, I will fake one. We will get this ish done.
If you need signatures, I will sign that for you to get you on there.
Thank you. I'm glad to know you will sign my petition. Yes. So that pretty much ends the first episode. What did you think of the first episode?
I mean, I'm actually really liking this season. I kind of like that at first I was overwhelmed with all the new people because I'm just like, God, there's so many of them. Like, ugh. But there's a lot of them that I'm liking. So, you know, fresh meat, new blood. That's always good.
It is.
I do think it's very. I like that they're showing more of the drama stuff and like the makeouts and the partying and all that. I do feel like it's very produced.
Like a showman's.
Just the whole like look of it's very.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And like,
yeah,
I want it
it's not as
raw,
authentic
like it used to be. But
I can agree with that.
I am liking it. So.
Yeah, it is very much so more now. You can tell that these people know they're on a TV show and they're playing an exaggerated version of themselves or a character or whatever. And they're doing it on purpose. And I mean, it's fine to an extent, but it does get old after a while because like we're not stupid. We can see through what's fake. We can tell what's fake and what's real. Like, don't piss on us and tell us it's raining. It doesn't work that way. Exactly. We've been fans for too long.
From the beginning, right? Exactly.
37 seasons. You can't pull the wool over our eyes now. Okay. So that takes us right into the second episode, which is titled Bertha.
That's hilarious.
I thought because like Berna was going to have an absolute freak out. So like before the season, some of these cast members are trying to make Berna seem like she's this really unstable, emotionally all over the place person. So like I was totally expecting that this episode because they named it Bertha. And I was like, what is she like? Hurricane Bertha? Like Maddie was Hurricane Martha when she'd get drunk and she would go crazy. Or, you know, like Ashley Meltdown Mitchell. But I haven't seen it yet. And if I don't see it, either the editors are really good at editing or some of these people are just petty betties. It could either be.
Maybe it's coming. We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
They could have named this last episode Smashly or
Meltdown Mitchell. You should have named it Meltdown Mitchell. Yeah. So the episode starts out with Michelle and Coriel coming in as winning the elimination. We get properly introduced to Ed, whom I absolutely love. Because Gabo comes in to ask him questions about it. So I was like, well, I don't know, man. What's there to tell him? Right outside Philadelphia, Conshohocken. I love saying that name, Conshohocken. When I used to work at IKEA, I loved when people called from the IKEA Conshohocken. He's just like this. He reminds me of Kahada, but like not as country and like a more ripped version. Like his personality and like his vibe reminds me of Kahada.
Kahada's more low key though.
Well, yeah, he's like more of Kahada's more country, a little more laid back, but I don't know. It's just like the vibe and like the freeness. I don't know. Yeah, I love him. I love him so far. Michelle and Emmanuel still feeling each other because the house is partying now, as they should. I'm very sad there's no igloo anymore. I still want the
bar is cool.
The party igloo. Yeah, their bar is very cool. Their setup's cool. They get to jump in a pool. I just miss
when they were first, I think it was the second episode when they were first going into the bar and they showed Kyle dancing. Kyle cannot dance. No. So he should refrain. And I love Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. No dancing. Sorry, Kyle. I don't think Devin can dance either.
Yeah.
But when you're drunk, everyone thinks that they can dance when they're drunk.
That's true.
Me included. I mean, I'm not too bad when I'm sober, but when I'm drunk, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like Beyonce, and I'm really not. So Michelle and Emmanuel are feeling each other. Kels and Tori are feeling each other, which makes me because I'm not a Tori fan. I'm like, no, Kel, say now.
I know,
but whatever. I can't hate on it that much. And Nelson's about to jump his ass right into a love triangle because Ashley is catching feelings.
Yep.
She must have been quarantined for too damn long.
But like, honestly, even if she wasn't catching feelings, for him to be all snuggled up with Berna on the couch and then go straight
and jump in Ashley's bed. And later on the Aftermath show, it is implied that he hooked up with both of them in the same night.
Both of them. Oh, I know.
Which is disrespectful AF.
And kind of gross
to anybody. And it's gross. Like
at least let a day go in between.
Right. At least like be honest with me. Like if I was not in a relationship and I was in this show and we were doing stuff, like just let me know if you are putting your dick in other women's vaginas
Right.
or buttholes. So that way I can decide if I want your penis to then be in me.
Right.
Okay. Just like I would let you know if I let other men put their tongues or their penises in me. Because you may not want to dip into that same pond, and I may not want your fishing rod in my pond if it's been in everybody else's.
You nailed it.
That's just all I'm saying, Nelson. And anybody else who needs to hear this message. Thank you. Yeah, the audacity of it all. Scuba Nelly T. Jesus. I still love that nickname. So Michelle tries to sweet talk Tracy about, I'm so sorry I stole Devin as your partner. I'm like, bitch, why are you apologizing? You don't care. You don't even know me.
Exactly.
You don't mean nothing. Like, don't apologize. Like that's fake to me. No. Michelle's really trying to play her social political game. I can tell. And I was like, and I even wrote, WTF, who apologizes for stealing from a rando? LOL. Kells is one big mother effer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could tell he was big, but when Nelson walked and stood next to him, I was like,
he's bigger than Fessy, which is why they were all afraid of him.
That is exactly it. I even wrote that down later when we get to that part.
Yeah, and I liked him on Too Hot to Handle, and other people, he was a little boring. And I know some people didn't like him on there, but I just thought he was a really nice guy. You can tell he's intelligent. He's hot. He's good looking. Really nice to look at. And he's athletic.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sad to see that. But
Fussy is a punk ass bitch.
Well,
because you know, and I'm going to get into that rant because I have it written in here when he stands next to Fussy and they have that conversation during one of the like house parties. Yeah. So we don't get there. So the vets strategize, and it kind of sounds like they are maybe leaning towards Kells to put into the next elimination because the boys are all scared shitless and they're all tinkling their pants. Yeah. That there's a rookie who is not only huge, but could actually do some damage. And God forbid he sends them all home. God forbid that any of those guys actually have to put their money where their mouth is.
I mean, on their side, it was a smart move. It's
definitely a smart move.
The only thing that was a crapshoot was what his elimination was going to be.
Yeah, because
and it just happened to work out in their favor.
Yep, exactly. So then Fussy and Esther discuss their partnership and like their plan as partners. And Fussy does talk about the difficulty of not being able to eat or drink during the day as the season is being filmed during the Muslim holiday of Ramadan. I am not a Fussy fan, but that being said, I do give props to anyone who can be in this kind of environment and remain true to that type of faith. I have friends who are Muslim, and it is very difficult not doing this kind of physicality and not being able to drink any liquids, eat any foods from dawn to dusk, can't even smoke. Like my one friend's mom was a nightmare because she couldn't smoke during the day. So I heard
that he used it as an excuse and was doing other things that he wasn't supposed to be doing too. So
I take my props back. They have been refunded to me.
I don't know. I don't like the guy, so I'm going to choose to believe that.
That's sad. If that's true, that's sad. Yeah. The props are on hold till I can be proven otherwise.
There we go.
The next daily is kind of boring to watch. It's not, and I find it to be like kind of an equalizer type daily, to be honest. Basically, they have two teams. One partner from each team is strapped into a helicopter and has to like fling gem bags down to their partner who's in a moving vehicle.
When I saw the helicopter, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool," and then it was just like,
It might have been fun playing it, but watching it was kind of boring. Emmy has an emotional breakdown for no reason because she's so terrified of heights, yet hangs out of the goddamn helicopter once she's strapped in.
Thank you. TV time. She got cameras.
Yeah, and that is actually something that Love War Challenges talked about when they did their breakdown, and I do agree with them. This emotional show that Emmy is putting on is just that. It's a show, because she knows if I can make this character, if I can get the camera time, I have a better chance of getting recasted.
Well, like I said too, she came from Survivor, which is a mentally,
It's
like
much more draining.
It's mentally, challenging, emotionally,
and you're starving the whole time.
Exactly. So
and you don't even get a real bed to sleep on.
Why are you having meltdowns now?
Exactly.
And
I'm like, and they pointed out, for someone who's so afraid of heights, she sure is hanging out the side of the plane, whereas someone like Big T, who is genuinely terrified, is barely peeking out just to throw out the bags. I don't know why Big T wasn't the one catching the bags. I would have been and be like, I'll stay in the car. All right, thank you. And then Bettina has her dolphin laughing, where Corey even stared at her like, girl, can you stop? Like, it was funny 5 laughs ago.
Yeah.
Now it's not funny anymore. That's where I was like, girl, I thought my laugh was annoying.
Right.
And then we get to Josh's invisible partner. So if you have been living under a rock, Josh's partner, Lauren Coogan, who I think was on Love Island,
like Love Island, I think,
UK or whatever, pretty much got edited out of this whole damn season. We don't 100% know why. I have heard 2 different things. I have heard she said something racist or racially insensitive, either towards Anissa or about Anissa, or she said it and somebody heard it.
In that realm, yeah.
Or I also heard she made a comment towards Anissa about being a predator. Like something like Anissa had predatory behavior because
her shower situation.
Yeah, because before this season started filming, came out all those things about how Anissa likes to walk in and watch people in the shower in the house. And a lot of people have feelings about that, because I get it. If it was a guy that was doing that, we would be having probably a much different reaction. Period. So we don't know. I heard
both of those things. Who knows? I mean, either way.
Nobody has confirmed it. Everything Lauren has said is incredibly vague.
Yeah.
It doesn't touch on a subject. She claims that they didn't have enough time to review the footage to determine whether or not she was actually saying something inappropriate, to only edit that out. So they gave her I don't know. 2 and 2 is not equaling 4 in this scenario.
If you have time to edit out an entire person, they had time to look at what was
if they had time to go and edit D out of half of Total Madness within a week of what she said, then they would have had time to edit out something you said that might have been a little bit so it was clearly more than that. I do think that it's BS that they're not talking about it. Like, by not talking about it, I feel like you are
it's just more
saying it's okay. Yeah, it's more speculation, and it brings me back to the whole Camilla thing in Dirty 30. The only reason why they showed any of that scene of her flipping out on Leroy was because they got pressured by the cast to show it. Otherwise they were never going to show it, and then we would have had to have read about it behind the scenes. And when you're a casual viewer, you're not privy to that information. So Josh's partner, they don't even name her in the show. Like, TJ doesn't even say Josh, your partner Lauren had to be deactivated and sent home. They were just like, your partner is gone, so now we brought you in a replacement. And it turns out to be the current reigning champ at that time, Amber B herself. Supermodel walk out of that Lambo. It was beautiful. The vets' faces were hilarious.
Jesse's face was hilarious.
Like,
he was excited. He was
like, well, he was, but then he was probably like, damn, it should be with Josh, not with me.
Right. Yeah.
Josh was ecstatic, because regardless of what happened with that BB alliance last season, he's like, she won. Hell yeah, I want her as my damn partner. Screw the rest of you. Bitter Fussy was like, Amber's here. And I'm like, you should be ecstatic and wanting to get her as your partner.
Exactly.
Because then maybe you'll win.
Exactly.
And several of the female vets were not excited to see her. Why? Because she won last season.
Exactly.
Suck it, bitches.
And
so,
she's bigger than all of them.
She is. I do think it's weird that they brought her in halfway through the daily. Like several people had already performed the daily, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, hey, Josh, since you don't have a partner, here's Amber. Like they didn't bring her in at the beginning like they did Ashley last season. It's weird.
Was it maybe just editing though?
It could have been just weird editing. Or maybe that's when Lauren got pulled. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whole thing's weird. I'm glad Amber B got to come
glad she's
in.
Back.
Yes, I don't think she should have ever been an alternate to begin with. So I'm glad that she got to come in, and she came in early, not like halfway through the season or something. Like I said, Fussy's being a punk about Amber. And then just in general, I said the daily was fun. It was a cute little fun daily, nothing crazy. I probably won't remember it after 3 weeks, but whatever. I do think the sprint at the end is completely pointless. There's no purpose.
Oh, but they just wanted to have fire. Like,
I guess
something blow up.
They should have just allowed them to drive over it and then it explodes, but whatever.
Yeah.
The top 2 teams are Fessy and Esther and Casey and Emmanuel. Fessy and Esther end up winning because Fester flung those gem bags like it was her life.
Yeah.
Like they won because of Esther. Haha, Fessy.
Yeah.
And after the daily, though, they have to figure out who's going to go in elimination. And here comes Emmy's breakdown number 5. Because she's convinced it's going to be her and Ed because Ed is new. And Ed's just like, it's okay.
Whatever.
It's cool. Like, we're rookies. We're going to have to go in anyway.
I like that attitude. He's not scared.
It's a good attitude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's not scared. However, this is how you can tell these rookies they're not very smart. If I was a rookie on this season, after seeing how the first elimination went down, I would have gathered my fellow rookies and I would have said, look, we still outnumber them, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
And unless we all come together now, we're going to get picked off 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. Because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try and make it to where they can get 2 rookies out per elimination. What the rookies should have done is they should have banded together and they should have voted in one of the few vet teams that they have, like Amanda and Kyle. Right. So that way, the winning team, chances are the winning team would not have put in a rookie team. Or moving forward, like, you know, you'll always, the chances of you having one rookie on the winning team are strong. And if you refuse to put in 2 rookies, your partner is going to have to give because you'll run the chance of you 2 having to go in. So maybe then if they did that, they will always have 100% chance of 1 vet going home per elimination and only a 50% chance of it being a rookie. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just being naive and some of them not knowing the game and maybe not being cutthroat enough.
This is why they need to have a super fan season, and you will see cutthroatness from the jump.
Because you know, if they come back for another season, they're going to play differently.
Mm-hmm. But I want to see the rookies play smart. So MTV, Buna Murray, Viacom, CBS, Paramount, whoever you want to be, we need a super fan season because that shit's going to be cutthroat from the jump. And make sure I'm on it, please. Thank you.
You and Frankie needs to be on there. He would be totally cutthroat. Frankie would cut your throat.
I'd have to kill Frankie. I'd have to be like, Frankie, you gotta be my sacrificial lamb. But why?
Together and be the Unbothered Alliance.
Yeah, we'd have to go and be the Unbothered Alliance. We have to get we'll have to get I don't know her last name, Tanya, the one with the Cara Maria guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's got to be on there with us.
I would totally go on there, but I'm too out of shape and too old, so it's not gonna happen.
Okay, you probably do better than Veronica did in her later seasons.
Oh, I don't know.
They should make it a spin-off. Kind of like a champs versus. That would be fun.
It'd be so fun.
It would be so fun. Anyway, rant over about how the rookies should be behaving. So it's the party time again. I miss the igloo. Again, I fast forwarded through Amanda and Fessy flirting. And this is where Kells and Fussy chat, and you can tell Kells is bigger than him, and I'm pretty sure Fussy pees himself a little bit with fear.
Oh, sure.
And we then know Josh. Oh yeah, I mean Josh over here acting like he's some political mastermind. Devin plays chess with you once, and you think you're Einstein. Sir, no, I'm not even afraid of Josh.
Exactly.
Like, if I was on the show, I'd be like, put me in against Josh. I will probably win. And I'm clumsy too. He'll probably fall before me. I'm not afraid. Nobody, dude, no one's afraid of you. Okay. You lost a tug of war contest against somebody with one hand. Granted, it was Jordan and he's just a beast, period. But he still only had one hand and he was half your size.
I know.
And he still outsmarted you.
Those balls.
Oh my God. That was. I remember that elimination. It was terrible.
If I did that, I would never show my face on television.
I'd be like, I don't even, who do I have to bribe to edit this part out? Like, that would be me. And then Ashley drunkenly tells Nelson she's catching feelings. He's like, no. Amanda's confessions are all like, dude, I love my best friend, but she's crazy. I hope you're ready for this. I mean, hello, Nelson should know. She's hooked up with both Corey and Hunter, two of his closest friends. You saw how that worked out. Why would you be any different?
Yep. 2
and 2 equals 4, my friend, not 3. So
she's been on the challenge a million times with him. He knows how she is.
Exactly. This is
everyone knows how she is.
Yes. Even the rookies.
Come on.
Her own partner at this point has figured out how she is. And it's been 3 days.
Her best friend is like,
dude, don't do it. Her best friend is warning you, don't fucking do it.
Exactly.
And yet 5 minutes later, he's then all over Berna. And he is like, oh, I don't just like you because you're pretty. I like you for you. Like telling her all the things that Ashley wanted to hear from him. And instead he's saying it to Berna. And here comes Hurricane Ashley, or as Devin titles her later, Meltdown Mitchell. And I do want to say, I know Ashley was drunk, but I do really dislike the way she handled that situation. She's too old to act like that. And I say that is in, you can still get hurt and still feel emotional when you're in your 30s. I know I do, but the way you react to it should not be the way it would be when you're 22.
Yeah.
You should be upset with Nelson. You don't be upset with Berna and then calling her the wrong name, which is how we got the title of the episode. She keeps calling Berna Bertha.
Right.
She's like, go with Bertha. And then
like, Nelson called her Bertha. And Amber's like, I'm pretty sure it's
Berna. And he does call her Berna later. And I think is just the moment with Ashley being crazy. And he's just like, dude, what's wrong with you? And Ashley's own partner, Huey, is like, bitch, take a chill pill. Like, I'm not going to go into elimination because you are upset over some dude flirting with somebody you don't even know. I know on Twitter, Berna made a post. I think it was Twitter. She's not real happy that Ashley was calling her Bertha. I think it was a mix of Ashley being drunk, and I think she kind of did it on purpose to like, be a little bit of a dig, not really realizing the
impact. She was just wanting to be a bitch.
Yeah, she was, and it worked. And I really hope that moving forward through this season that Ashley turns her frustration on the person who deserves it, which is Nelson. Like, I can understand being upset, like, dude, you're playing me and somebody else. You're stringing me along. It's really annoying. Be upset with him. It's not her. You're not in a relationship. She owes you nothing.
I agree that I almost don't agree that she should even take it out on Nelson, though, because if it was, they should have communicated that it was more than just a friends with benefits thing. But if that's what it was, he can't be faulted for her falling. Either.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Although it's skeevy what he did.
Oh, 100%.
Technically, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So
right. 100%. It's again, for me, I'm big on communication. Like, again, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, dude, if you want to mess with other people, that's cool, but you just gotta let me know. Yeah, you just gotta let me know. Just let me know. Yeah. So now it's high gear for the vets deciding who to house vote. They basically end up telling Tori, look, it's going to be Kells, but you can't tell him. Like, you better not tell him. And she's like, fuck, I'm in a rock and a hard place. I like this guy, but if I tell him, the vets are going to know that I've told him, and then it's going to really ruin things for me. So she decides not to. Apparently she just avoided him and would not make eye contact with him for like the whole rest of the day. So he figured it out.
Surprised.
He figured it out.
Yeah.
Because when the person that you're like cutesy cuddly with and you're chatting with a lot, all of a sudden isn't talking or looking at you, and they're part of the vets, you know why.
Right.
He ain't stupid. He's not Josh. All right. He figured it out. So here comes deliberation time. Before we do that, if you were Tori, would you have told Kells, or would you have done the same thing and just said nothing?
Oh, I probably would not have, because I understand her hesitation, because you want to be loyal to him, but you need those other people on your side. Right. Because if he goes home and you've told him and they know you told him, then you have no one.
It's true.
So long run, I would not have told him.
Yeah. Same.
What about you?
Not that soon. If it would have been somebody I was in an actual relationship with, or different if this was at the end of the season, different story. But I've known you like 4 days. You're cute, but you're not worth this whole game to me. I didn't come in here looking for you. Right. So yeah,
if you knew that it was going to be purely a physical thing, then you would know he's coming back. Yeah. But as we see, that's not what happens.
That's not what happens at all. So we get to deliberation time. Josh makes a failed attempt at painting Kells like a mastermind who's making deals with everyone. And
that was Kells, good television right there.
That was good television. He responds back in a way that we all love. He essentially calls Josh a moron and says, and I quote, "Josh, no offense, you are not known to be the most tactical, smartest person in the room. If I was making moves, bro, you wouldn't be the one to discover it."
Exactly.
And everyone fucking
loved
laughed.
It.
His own friends, Josh's own friends and allies, giggled and had to cover their face.
Oh yeah.
Because they know it's true. And Josh is doing Fessy's dirty work. Ultimately, he's doing Fessy's dirty work.
Yeah.
Because he's just as afraid of having to go up against Kells, and Kells realizes
Kells never lost his cool. He just says it.
And then Devin's trying to be like, well, if it's not going to be you, then we need another alternate. And Kells like, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
Y'all vote however you want. If it's going to be me, it's going to be me. And you just better hope I don't come back. Right. So poor Tracy, because Kells and Tracy get voted in. Fussy tells Josh that he wants to vote in Amber B because he's a bitch. And this is the only time I ever side with Josh, because Josh is like, dude, no. Like, don't be stupid.
Right.
Like, especially don't take away my partner, who's actually pretty good. Like, give me some time.
And honestly, he should be kissing her ass right now.
Yes, he should.
Band together. Why would you go ahead and try to like stab? Well, and he's dumb. Let's just be real about that.
And he's a punk. He's is a punk. If he wasn't a punk, he'd want to keep Kells around and try to take him out himself.
Yeah. But I did like Esther's. I like Esther's speech.
Yes, I love Esther.
I like her.
She's pretty cool. And the reason why he's even more of a punk is because they decide to put in Emmy and Ed against Kells and Tracy. Ed is like a foot shorter than Kells. So if this was a physical brawling elimination, I don't think Ed would have made it. But luckily for Ed and Emmy, this is more of a puzzle type with some physicality, but not against each other. And it's definitely an equalizer type elimination. The girls are strapped onto these cages, these little cage board things. The guys have to flip them over. The girls use some like magnetic line to hook these boxes, which is parts of a puzzle. It turns out to be a puzzle that makes the globe, the map of the world. And they have to try and get the puzzle pieces up as fast as they can and solve the puzzle first. What can make it a little bit tricky is sometimes the magnet doesn't hit the right part, or like the box falls off if they try to flip it up too soon. It gets kind of close there in the middle. I mean, There's nothing like super crazy or exciting that happened. I felt bad for Tracy because she was clearly getting really frustrated and Kels was frustrated with her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, yelling at her ain't gonna help. So, and it doesn't. As Ed's starting to put the puzzle pieces together, Devin shouts out, "It's a map of the world." Ed's like, I know. He's like, however, unlike the rest of us, I'm not a complete idiot.
Right.
It's like, as soon as I saw that first piece, it was Australia. I knew immediately what it was. Devin trying to help him. It's a map of the world. No shit. Thank you. So sadly for us, but luckily for Fussy and Josh, Kels and Tracy go home. I really hope Kels gets to come back on another season just because of what he said to Josh. And I love seeing Fussy tremble in his pants. And basically Michelle is now with Corey L. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Ed opts to steal Tori as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know. He said because he knows that she got stolen the first time. So he assumed that must mean she's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good laugh.
It's better than the Bettina. I can't even fake her laugh.
I know. I feel like it would hurt.
That hurts.
That's not even as annoying.
I can't even do it. Emmy ends up taking Devin, so he's still on about being the number 1 draft pick 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
So that now means that Michelle and Coriel are paired together. I think that is a very good, strong matchup, but Corey is very smart and well aware that they are now in danger because he was like, we won the first elimination together. People know that we are good and we are strong and we're rookies. We're screwed. And that is the end of episode 2 because I didn't get to see the preview for next episode. My DVR cut off.
Well, there's some cave water issue and a bunch of people are get bloodied up. And then on the, I don't know if it was a description or whatever, it says that somebody's so nervous before they puke and then kiss their partner on the mouth. I don't know what that's about, but that is disgusting.
I want to know who that is.
Ugh. That's gross.
That is very gross.
We'll find out next Wednesday.
Yeah, I guess we will find out next Wednesday.
We'll discuss.
And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So far, I'm enjoying this season. I feel like we are getting more camera time for more of the rookies sooner than we were last season. That does mean some of the vets aren't really getting as much camera time right now, like CT and stuff. But it's kind of okay because we don't need to get to know CT.
We know,
and
it's coming.
We know.
It's coming.
I do hope we get to see more of certain other rookies like Tasha and stuff before they're no longer there.
Right.
And I love Ed.
Yeah.
I just love Ed. I hope to go to Conshohocken one day and see him. Who knows? We'll try to get him to interview.
We should try to get him and Mitchell.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be good.
I love his brother.
Mitchell. I do. I love his brother. I would love to see his brother come on the show. Who?
Yeah. Chloe, his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We should try. Cool. So we will do that. Any thoughts? Anything you want to discuss from the 2 episodes?
I'm just glad the new season's back and we're doing this again. This is fun.
Hopefully more of us
our
be able to
group
jump in.
To jump in. Yes.
I know.
Losers.
I guess it should be this way. So it's not backward. L7 square. Like from Clueless. Showing my age. Yeah. It took me like 4 hours to finally get my computer to work last night. It was a whole thing.
Oh, I saw you post at like 1:30 and you're like,
yes.
It's finally working.
Because it's like, it kept getting stuck. I'll probably edit this part out, but like, I guess like when it forced me to update the last time, I guess there's like something wrong in the updates. So like now it would just constantly be on this like boot loop of where it's like something went wrong, unable to install updates, uninstalling everything, but it would just sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there. And it was like a common problem. So I had to do all these things.
Yeah.
Short of reformatting this whole damn laptop. I got it to work. Thank God. So
Well,
we're
that's good.
here. We're back. We're
That's right.
ready. We're raring to go. I don't know how this is going to work when we're in Tampa. I guess we won't do it that week.
I think
Maybe we just
should
go live.
do it as a live with the whole group there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we should do that. I'll bring my
Let's
laptop.
get super drunk.
Which is probably going to be us the whole time anyway.
It'll be fun.
It will be. All right, we'll do that. I'll bring my laptop with me.
We'll do that.
Since I'm driving, I don't have to fly, so I don't have to worry about that. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us with our first episode with this season's podcast to go with season 37, Spies, Lies, and Allies. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube at The Unbothered Podcast. On Facebook, we are the MTV's Challenge Unbothered, as well as Entertainment Unbothered, where we talk about everything else in the movie, TV, music, hot reality goss world. You can also catch us on Instagram, MTV's The Challenge Unbothered. And yeah, don't forget the show airs every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on MTV. And I think it airs the next day for people who like buy it on Amazon and stuff. So we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Do, 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 do.